sometimes girls try to pass off as if they're just like recording quickly on their phone, like, oh my god, you know, this thing just happened, or I quickly got to tell you this thing. But they wear glasses, and you can see the ring of one of the reflective lights. Like, you know, they've like set it up to like perfect. Like, I can see it in yours. It's like the first thing that I thought of.
No TikToks.
Speaking of TikTok, we posted a TikTok. Welcome back.
I was going to say.
Episode 9.
Is it 9?
What are we going to do for 10? Should we celebrate some sort?
I think we should. That's exciting.
What should we do?
I'm not sure. We can come up with something this week.
Yeah. Or people can leave it in the comments.
10th episode. That's crazy.
Yeah. Did you think we would even make it to 5?
I'd hope so. Sorry everyone, this chair is making a really loud noise. It's actually really bad. Maybe Aiden put it together wrong.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So we posted a TikTok of something pretty special that happened. You want to?
So we had a date night on Thursday night, and I ate chicken for the first time in almost 6 years. Yeah, I was scared. At first I was going to order a whole palmy, and then I chickened out.
No pun intended.
Oh, that's funny. I chickened out and I asked Aiden if I could have a bite or two of his, and I ordered a vegetarian one instead. But it was good.
And you've eaten chicken since?
Yes.
When was date night?
Thursday.
And just yesterday, what did you have? You had that?
I had barbecue chicken rice paper roll.
That's right, yeah. Because that surprised me.
And then we had a chicken gyros on Friday night.
Oh, we did too. Look at you, just eating all of the chickens.
It's crazy. But before we go into that, so we're actually going to talk about that this episode. We're going to talk about why I've changed from... I was pescatarian to now I'm not eating any other meat except for chicken.
For those that don't know, what is a pescatarian?
A pescatarian is you only eat seafood or fish, really. I think in some people though say pescatarian is white meat only. So that would include like chicken, turkey, whatever.
So
but
some people might still call you a pescatarian.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not eating fish anymore.
There was a comment on TikTok specifically asking for the why. So why did you? Because I actually never asked you this, but what made you stop eating it the first time?
Do we want to go? Oh, what stopped me eating it in the first time? So we watched back in, I think it was 2016. We were watching too many documentaries. I watched Seaspiracy. I watched Forks Over Knives, and then they actually brought out. What was the other one? There was one on YouTube. It wasn't Dominion, because that's like an Australian one which I've watched in the last couple of years. I can't think of it, but it was awful. Like, it was so sad. And I remember specifically the day that I watched it was Father's Day, and we were going to Sizzler. And Dad was like, all right, everyone, let's go. I'm like, I can't eat any of that. I can't eat eggs. I can't eat meat. I don't want to do it anymore. And then I just didn't.
So from that day on, 2016.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of started with my friend Sarah was like, we're going to stop eating some meats because at the time we lived together. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, for context, everyone, I would have steak, like I would have every type of meat every single day. So then for her to be like, we're just going to start to cut it back. And then once I actually watched what happens to the animals and like what it does to the environment and all of that, I was like, nah, it's fair. And since then I haven't really eaten it. There's been the occasional time I ate calamari a few times. That would be like my one thing within the couple of years. And then Christmas ham maybe once. And then bacon, a tiny bit of bacon in January this year. Because I think this year I've been saying, like, I think I want to introduce something, right? So I was vegan last January.
Just for
the month of
Just for
Jan.
the experiment of giving it a go.
It was hard. Like, it was really hard. And, like, props to vegans for being able to do it, honestly, because I really struggled with trying to find what to make. Because I think a lot of it is you're just going to eat a lot of carbs, right? And this is the problem that we've been having, well, that I've been having, which we spoke about last week, was what am I going to be eating? So, yeah, that was really difficult. But I think, yeah, in the last couple of months, I've been like, I'm not really sure why I'm doing it anymore. Like, I think I need to introduce something else, which you've been really supportive and not said that you don't really mind what I do because you still obviously eat meat anyway.
Yeah, it's never bothered me.
So
you cook my meat. You make almost 100% of the food that I eat.
And I think I only introduced fish like 3 months ago. Do you think? Maybe 4.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long. But then this week I watched Seaspiracy, and I knew that it would do this. I even planned for the fact that on Tuesday after I watched this, I'm not going to eat fish anymore, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I've never watched any of the documentaries. 1, because I know it'll make me sad. 2, because I know that it's not going to stop me from eating the food, and I don't want to feel sad about what I'm going to continue to do. I know that's a really lazy way to look at it.
But do you not want to know what happens?
I know what happens. I know how they're killed. I don't need to see the videos, because also remember, and I'm not defending the way that they're killed in any way, shape, or form, but you have to recognize that the people that made the video had an agenda. So they picked the worst possible conditions they could find to show you that not every cow dies with its feet standing in its own shit. Like, you see that a lot, don't you? Like, I haven't even seen them, but I imagine, no, they didn't.
No, they get hung up and then...
the throat slit. A lot of the times it's a bolt through the head.
They do that too.
It's very quick.
I think also seeing like the conditions of it it's just awful and it's unnecessary. And I feel like if people were to cut back, I'm not saying that people have to stop eating meat. If you cut back eating it, that would make a difference. It would make a difference to I wouldn't say our economy, but it would make a difference to the environment, because if you watch Cowspiracy in particular, it talks about how like the gases from the cows are really bad for the environment, and the fact that we are producing more food.
Cow farts.
It literally is that, yeah.
I know it is.
We're producing more food and we're getting rid of like housing and stuff so that we can feed animals to kill them. Yeah.
The other thing is we're also clearing that same land to farm crops.
Yeah, but then also like you're then going to feed that to the animals potentially as well.
Yes.
And then like you look at chickens, poor chickens that I've been eating. I feel bad.
I feel like when a truck goes by, that's like how much chicken you would eat in a day now. You know, one of those trucks that goes down on the highway and it's just cram loaded full of chickens?
But see, that's sad.
But that's probably how much chicken you eat now.
It is not. And I'm only buying free-range chicken, which like... I don't know if that's any better. But
they have to meet a standard to put that label on your box.
My concern is though, with Seaspiracy, for anyone that's watched it, so they talk about on tuna, there's a sticker on there that says dolphin safe, right? And that's meant to guarantee that no dolphins were harmed when they got this tuna. In the documentary, they are talking to the person from that company that makes those stickers, and they go, no, we can't guarantee that. So they're just paying off these people so that they can put a fucking sticker on there. Like, it's just awful. Sorry, but if you want to get a tuna, you can go out and catch it with your rod. That's it. I don't agree with bulk fishing anymore at all. And, like, I never really did beforehand, but that's so bad. You can't put a sticker on something to say, no dolphins were harmed. Oh, but we can't actually guarantee that.
Yeah, except for all the dolphins that we killed.
Why is it even on there then? Like, it's just wrong, and it's because they're paying them off. Just like the milk and dairy industry, they get like the pharmaceutical companies pay them, and then they'll be like, eating dairy and milk, dairy and meat is fine. Yeah,
they all do it.
It's so bad.
The same companies do it to the World Health Organization.
And
And then they say, oxycodone is fine.
Oh, it's just...
And how easy is it to get addicted to oxycodone?
It's ridiculous.
Or endone. Anyone who's listening who's had severe surgery knows how crazy those fucking pills are. You tell me that, I don't even think alcohol's great, but that shit will get you hooked way quicker than alcohol. Way quicker. Because I think we've spoken about this before, but that documentary, the Oxycodone Express, I can never pronounce it right.
No, never seen it.
It's basically about how in Florida for a long time you could get a prescription, you could have like whatever your injury is. It might be constant back pain. It might be whatever it is. You go get your script. You fill it at the closest chemist.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah,
too.
and then the Oxycodone Express is the drive that you take to pass as many chemists as you can. Yeah, in the shortest period of time, so you can pick up as much of your drug as you want. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all corrupt.
It's fucking crazy. The whole thing is ridiculous.
So, yes.
Okay, so you watched a bunch of stuff. You stopped eating meat in general. You reintroduced fish a couple months ago. You're now not fond of fish?
No seafood.
Seafood at all?
No.
Okay. And you're back on the chicken train?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the big problems we've had is stomach issues. Both of us have problems with our stomach. I get bloating all the time. Not gassy bloating. Doesn't have to be gassy bloating. It's just like my stomach is just bloated a lot. It doesn't take much eating. Are you trying to stop me from turning my chair?
Yeah.
I can't help it. I twist in my chair.
But I think it's come down since you've been eating more vegetables.
It's come down a lot since I've been not forced, but since you make all of my food now, I eat a shitload more vegetables. Yeah. And yeah, so you make like so much vegetables, which is great. And then I had that big period where I didn't eat because I had tonsillitis. So that like dramatically reduced. I imagine it just reduced the amount of shit in my intestines and guts, and
maybe it did that.
Which is a bit of a gross subject, but I think that's what I honestly think that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I don't want to go straight into eating too much chicken.
Have you heard anything about what it does? Like introducing meat if you haven't had it for a long time?
No, but I mean, I've spoken to friends who have been vegetarian and done the same thing, and they haven't had any problems with it at all. Like, they feel fine. So, and I'm not going to go like, I'm going to have chicken every single day.
Yep.
I have for the last 3 days, but not today.
Yeah.
But I think, like, for the week, I just feel like it'll be easier. It'll be easier because then I'm not going to be eating primarily fake meat products as well.
Yeah. Like,
that's all well and good, but that's all processed too. So I think it'll be good to just have something else. But I really think that people should watch Seaspiracy. I would like you to watch it, but you don't really eat seafood anyway. But I think it's good just to not, like, I didn't understand how important, I suppose, the ocean actually is. Like, it's crazy. And like, everyone would have seen last year, you know how all venues and stuff cut out plastic straws because of the video of the turtle that had it in its nose. Did you see that?
I've seen that video.
Oh my god, it's so sad. And I think it touches...
That video is actually really old.
It's so sad. And like, it's worse now that we have Timon, because I'm like, oh, that poor little turtle. Anyway, in the documentary, they talked about how plastic isn't the biggest problem. So we've been focusing so much on everyone get rid of plastic straws and pick up your rubbish and all of that, which is fabulous. Let's not do that. But
let's not stop doing that.
Sorry, yes, let's not stop doing that. Don't do that, people. That's bad. But then the bigger issue is fishing. Like mass fishing. I'm not talking about you going down and like throwing your line in. That's still bad if, for example, your hook gets caught on a rock and then you just cut the line off.
Yep. You're
obviously not going to dive in and get it. I mean, you could. But one of the, I can't remember how.
I don't see why you couldn't.
But who does?
Depending on how deep it is.
Who is actually going to do that, right? It's easier just to cut it off and then it just goes into the ocean and then that's it.
It's not your problem.
But what they said is, I can't remember the statistic, but it was something phenomenal, like 50 million times or something, or like 50, anyway, a lot of times, that the amount of like fishing residue, I guess, or like fishing line that's in the ocean can wrap around the world millions of times.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. And like, that's going to be in your fish. That's going to kill all of these animals as well. Like, oh gosh. And then when they're doing like these big fishing trawlers and things, they don't give a shit. They're there to get tuna, for example. Let's run with the theme. Sorry if that was really loud.
I don't know if they would have heard it. It's a siren for anyone if not sure what we're on about.
If they are trying to get tuna, but in the meantime, when they're scraping the bottom of the ocean, they're getting turtles and other types of fish and sharks and dolphins and whatever, as soon as they come on board, they go, oh, well, we actually don't want that. And then they just throw them back overboard. But by the time that they're already out of the water and they've sorted through all of the fish and stuff, these animals are dead. So then they're throwing in dead animals and they died for nothing. It just makes me really angry.
Yep.
Like, it's so unnecessary. And, like, there's one scene where, I can't remember what country it was in, but, like, they were killing whales. And then the way that the guy described, like, it was so sad. They were all, like, just standing in the water with knives, just, like, killing these animals. And the water was, like, this red. Like, it was, like...
Like, you're talking about the button on your...
Yeah, it was so, like, so pure red. It was foul. Like, I wanted to cry. But when they spoke to one of the fishermen, he was like, well, I don't see it any different to killing a cow or killing a chicken. Like, either way, you're killing one animal and you're getting a lot of meat. I'm like, it makes sense, but the way that they do it was so awful. And, like, you don't eat a whale. You don't eat a dolphin. Like, even...
Dolphins aren't that dumb. The only time
they're
they get...
so smart.
The only time they get caught is when they're trapped.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I've stopped eating seafood and why I've decided to eat chicken, because I needed to introduce something. I had to have something, and I chose chicken.
Yeah. Okay. Over beef, purely based on what you've seen.
I mean, even the treatment of chickens is awful. So, like...
But chickens go fuck themselves, right?
It's much of a muchness, really. I think... I don't know. I feel like chicken's just more diverse.
More diverse?
As in, like, it's easier for meal-wise. And you eat more chicken
I do eat a lot of chicken.
than you do beef or... Fuck, we're never eating lamb, because that just breaks my heart. So we're not doing that.
Okay. Not that I care.
So, yeah, so here we are. Day 4 of...
Meat eater.
Chicken eater.
Chicken eater.
I'm a monster. I'm sorry to everyone. But I am keen to see how it goes. We said last week that I'd been thinking about doing it anyway, so I'm probably going to do it for a month and just see if I feel any different. We're also kind of changing a little bit what we eat as well.
We're constantly changing what we eat, but we've been doing better at it the last probably 2 weeks.
Not this weekend.
Okay, not this weekend. We've eaten fucking trash this weekend. So Thursday we went out for dinner together. So we ate I got a palmy, you got something...
Mushroom palmy.
Mushroom palmies. We ate a lot of deep fried chips. And what was Friday? Euros, and then Saturday was pizza.
Yeah, it's
Today
awful.
we've got ice cream. It's not been a good. It's been a good weekend.
It's a treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go this next week.
I would highly recommend, though. Honestly, maybe we should do recommendations for the week.
You know what we haven't done?
What?
Last week we spoke about books that we were going to finish.
Oh, I didn't finish mine.
Did you even read it again? This week?
No, I don't think I have.
How far did you get through it?
I'm still like just past halfway. I'll read tomorrow on like the commute into the city.
Okay.
I will make sure that I read this week.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I'll like assist you in making.
But I also have signed up to a nutrition course, guys.
Oh, that's right. Just before we change that, back on the books.
Oh yes,
I finished mine.
yours.
Yeah, 12 Rules for Life. Jordan B. Peterson, I think it's his full name is. Fantastic book, highly recommend. It's actually the best book I've ever listened to. I've never listened to an audiobook. But I would go out and buy the book just in support, because he's a fantastic writer, and really because he's a clinical psychologist, he outlines some shit that you're just like, oh, that's why some people are fuckheads.
There's a lot
or
of
like,
them.
oh, that's why I do this thing that when shit gets annoying, or it's amazing the stuff that he points out, and you start recognizing behaviors in yourself, and then you can start correcting them.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. I highly recommend
That's
it.
why I like those types of books as well, like the self-helpy books, because you can go, oh, well, I actually do that, and then how am I going to fix it?
Yeah, that's huge in this book.
Mm.
Huge. It's literally called 12 Rules for Life. And then he gives you a rule and then gives you metaphor on top of metaphor on top of metaphor on top of brilliantly written story. Just 10 different reasons why that rule is a good rule to follow. And there's 12 of them. And they all make sense. They're all fantastic. You signed up to a nutrition course.
Yeah. So it's just...
That's what you were doing when the podcast started.
I was. Yep. It's just like a little certificate thing online, so I'll keep everyone updated, but it should be interesting. And I'm hoping that it helps to... with food idea, not even food ideas, I think just food in general, having a better understanding and knowledge of what we actually need to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a pretty good idea, but yeah, I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
It interests me. I like cooking. I like food.
I'm interested to hear what comes out of it when you get through it. How long do you reckon it'll take?
I don't think too long. It says the total lecture time's only 4.5 hours.
Okay.
Like for all of the modules.
Yeah.
So
little like 15, 20 minute sections.
Yeah, I think so.
For a heap of... So 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
I don't know.
4 months?
No
idea?
No, I'm not sure. It's all self-paced, so
Yeah, okay.
see how much time I can dedicate. But yeah, so that's exciting.
The other thing that's just happened was your injury. Your first ever, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Back
actual
injury.
Bad injury.
Guys, it was awful. So we were at the gym on...
Saturday.
Was it only... No.
Friday.
Yeah, it must have been Friday. Friday night. And
Huge gym day.
like all of a sudden I just had this shooting pain in my back. Like, what would you even say? Where is that?
I would say it's down the left side trap.
Yeah, it was awful.
But the part that runs down the spine, not the part that runs out to the shoulder.
On the left. And then it didn't go away. So then that night, like, I had a heat pack on it. I had the worst sleep, like rolling around. Like every time I'd move, it would hurt. Yesterday I had to take Panadol and Nurofen, and I was like an old woman. But today it seems to be fine.
It just surprises me that you've never had an injury like that, because
I'm
everyone
just a badass now.
Everyone gets hurt. The amount of times I've hurt myself lifting is a pretty significant amount. But then during jiu-jitsu alone, and I haven't been doing that for very long. It'd be just over 12 months, and I don't make it all the time.
No, it'd be more than 12 months.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, it'd be like nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years, you reckon?
Well, we've been dating for 1.5 years.
Okay, so nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
And I don't make it all the time. There's big blocks where I go where I just can't physically make it due to work or whatever. Injuries a lot. If you get like rolled over your neck in the wrong way, or someone pulls on your shoulder.
It's not normal to have that many injuries. So like
it is though.
No,
you got no idea how many people are suffering an injury from training all the time. So it just surprised me when you were like, I've never hurt like this, and when you're talking about you can't look left, like that's like
it was terrible.
That was half my 20s.
It was terrible, guys.
Not being able to look left or right.
Not a good time. Anyway, so that's been the week. We'll this chair is driving me nuts. We're gonna have to definitely spray it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with something fun for next week.
Yeah, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I want you to start gaming. I just thought of that.
What kind of gaming?
Maybe something really easy like Minecraft.
You say it's really easy, but remember that time I tried it was really hard.
Yeah, but it's not. And your computer will handle it. The other thing, like we've got those other games that I like to play, like the horror ones.
Oh, no.
But you're going to do it.
No, it's a hard no. I've got another recommendation for the pod.
The pod? Is that what we're calling it now?
I've just decided for the people. Run. Watch the movie Run on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
So good. If you're into like psychological thriller.
Yeah. We love horror movies. We watch a lot of horror movies, and
that was awesome.
We picked that in lieu of any of the bad horrors that were left on Netflix, and it was fantastic. Brilliant. It made me stand up out of like, no fucking way, are you serious?
Yeah,
like the twists. I thought I saw everything coming. I was like, I'm annoying during movies. I talk all the way through.
He's so annoying.
I'm like, oh, she's going to go to the door. Something's going to jump out, but it's not actually going to be anything bad. It's like a kid. Next thing, exactly what I said is going to happen. But this movie, it has you like that at the start, and then it completely throws you a curveball.
Do you have any recommendations?
Just that movie.
Well, that was mine. You've got to have your own.
Well, you just sprung that on me.
Yeah, well,
That and that book, Jordan B. Peterson.
Okay, I think we should
12
do
Rules
this
for
every
Life.
week if there is something that we can do every week.
I signed up to Audible, and so many people mention Audible on podcasts. I wish I could say we were sponsored by Audible. That'd be fucking amazing. We're not. I just happen to have Audible, and it's fantastic because the book that I got was worth like $25 or $35. It was $25 or $35. The subscription for Audible, first thing is the first month is free, so I haven't even paid anything. They give you 1 credit, and that credit can go towards any book. So I got a $25 to $35 book for firstly nothing. I haven't paid anything yet. And then at the end of this month, when I do get charged $16, I'll get another credit, and that can go towards another book of any value. It could be a $35 book, and I get it even though my subscription was only $16. So if anyone is thinking of anything in terms of like books and they don't like reading, Audible's fucking amazing for that. I had no idea. I didn't realize you got a credit. I thought you had to pay $16 and then you had to buy the book. And then $16 subscription, I thought that was just for the convenience of listening to someone narrate it.
Right.
Which, is not the case.
It's not. Well, that's good.
No.
That's a good recommendation.
And before we go, I think we should check comments on Twitch.
Sure.
Sure? Down? Is there anything else you want to mention before I steal the podcast for that?
I don't think so. I think that's okay. Bye.
Bye.